Bum, 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 bum. Nope. Hold on. So essentially, the anomaly that occurs is this window of FTDs that begin after they fail to roll the futures contracts here. So since the futures contracts have failed to roll, the position becomes exposed to the market, and we see FTDs start building up within this window, increasing as the window continues. As there are more and more fails at each step. The ones highlighted here in pink, if you can see those, are for ETF FTDs, which have a different cycle, and the ones outlined in blue are GME FTDs. And these occur from the roll. They occur again from the fail, meaning that they probably are rolling forward some contracts, but not many. They occur from the fail primarily, and then they can also occur from this ETF exposure window. As you know, synthetics are created in order to hedge. Those synthetics then have to be satisfied within T+35, which is this latest date out here. And so essentially when they roll, we just run into the roll, right? And then the price comes down. We saw this in March. We saw this in June. Plenty of liquidity. They're able to generate the volume necessary in order for them to roll forward the contract. They have a counterparty to pick them up. These are all the necessities for this roll to occur. If they don't have those things, the spot market's dry and liquidity is low, then they fail. And by failing to roll that contract forward, they expose themselves to FTDs. So this, and then this FTD exposure is compounded by this, in January specifically, this FTD exposure is compounded by this GME leaps and ETF, GME containing ETF leaps. These are the highest open interest contracts for the entire year. And I think this is likely what catalyzed our cycle in last January. As they also failed to roll forward their futures contracts then. This entire window has far more ETF exposure than any other window throughout the year, due to ETF leaps also being present here and later in December, and the ETF quarterly fail here. Last year, also in February, we ran on the ETF quarterly date here. I believe it was Feb 24th. And so, you know, the cycle then restarts out here in February, but this period in January has by far the most exposure out of the entire year. So that's kind of a breakdown of what I mean by anomaly. A roll does not beget an anomaly. So if they did roll and we see a roll come in, we won't see price action for these FTD dates, right? But we will see price action in regards to the ETF and GME exposures all the same. So a roll would mean that we would run kind of from today up into the roll date, right? And then we would trade down into the next exposure date. And then we would trade down again into the next exposure date. But a fail means that once December 22nd hits, we kind of just continue up throughout the whole cycle. So they both eventually do, the price action from both would be the same once we hit further out in the window, but it does create a deviation in the near term, one versus the other. I'll clip it.